Good morning. It is very early. It is still dark. I am trying to start a new routine for the remaining bits of summer. And of course, because I live in Texas, summer actually lasts for the next like 5 months. I've actually successfully incorporated a couple other habits. I just have not fully put them all together in the order in which I needed to put them together. The order in which I wanted to put them together. Yes. So I am using today's vlog as an accountability vlog. You all watching this right now are my accountability buddies. Accountability buddies. Yes, that is what y'all are. And thankfully, for the first time since August started, I've actually successfully gotten up early. 6 o'clock is what I was aiming for. I managed at 6:20. Bless you, Buffy. And I did some work on the romance pen name. That's really what I was trying to fit in, is getting started a little bit earlier and having the workout that I do in the mornings, or at least just like the long walk, be like an anchor point. Does that make sense? So the problem with summer is that it's so hot that I can only work out at certain times of the day. But if I miss those times, I'm basically SOL. And I find myself very easily getting into the spiral of not working out or not going on a walk or not getting my steps in, like just not doing it. Then everything else starts to deteriorate in my life in the way that my physical health really does help my mental health. So it can be a catalyst for good, but also a catalyst for bad. And I'm trying to kind of swing up. So throughout this vlog, I also wanted to... Oh, shake it off, Buffy. I also have Zelda right here. There's a camera right there. Where are you going? What is your plan? Thank you. You're very cute. Get out of the way. I love you. Do you want to lay down here? Really, dog? Anyways, I figured I would answer some questions in the hopes that y'all will also answer these in the comments down below. Once again, these come from the long list of questions that I did in a questionnaire ages ago, wanting to know if you could ask your fellow writers any one question, what would it be? And let's start by finishing up the romance pen name stuff that I started very early this morning. I'd like to get that done and crossed off the list. Oh, you are the star? It is your vlog now? Someone asked, how do you become more involved in the writing community? And it's kind of funny timing that I'm seeing this question now, because I just asked something similar to my patrons. If not, how do you find them? I asked, where are you? Or how are you engaging with your fellow writers, along with an entire dissertation of stuff. It doesn't matter. Most of them are YouTube, but part of that is because most of them found me through YouTube. So I imagine something similar might be true for those of you who are watching this video. But lots of people, Instagram, Discord is a huge one. I will leave a link down below to the Troublemakers Discord because I know that they're very active in that one. And there's lots of fun community chat over there, as well as the Worldwide Write-a-thon one. Links down below. But when I was asking about community, I thought it was interesting because I have the community I'm involved with, mostly where I'm following other writers on Instagram a lot. I feel like I get more of that one-on-one there, and through live streams, whether that's YouTube or Twitch. There's a lot of kind of more immediate community. I would say most especially during sprint relay type things. That's when you really feel a buzz about it, outside of like NaNoWriMo events and stuff like that. For the people that use Discord, I think it's a very similar thing of kind of getting an immediate community feel. And my follow-up question to you is, where do you share the most about your writing journey, if you do, and where do you consume the most about others' writing journeys? Because I'm curious if that is a different place. And while on like a personal level, I find the community more through Instagram, Twitch, and the YouTube comments on videos. I get my more like publishing industry news from specific blogs. So I'll leave down below Jane Friedman's that I really love. I actually finally just signed up for her paid version of her newsletter because she is incredible and a wealth of information, and I've long loved the free posts that she's made. So anyways, I was like, it's about time. So it's just kind of interesting to see. I get a lot of publishing news also from like Reddit, but that feels like a different kind of community vibe. Podcasts also give me more publishing industry than like individual writer journey oftentimes. So it's like I'm going different places for different things that like all add up to that community feel. So in terms of getting more involved, I would say that you actually have to like speak up. You would think having a YouTube channel, I'm not bad at this because I talk all the time, but it's really just when I'm by myself. So I'm really bad about just consuming content and not like commenting, or that's why I think Discord doesn't work for me sometimes. Is I just like to get updates, but I have a hard time giving updates too. So there's like this back and forth. I'd say maybe, do you have a couple questions you've been wondering yourself? Like some of these ones that we're gonna answer in this vlog, and see if you can't post that to Instagram, Twitter, Discord, anything like that. And I challenge you to like share your progress somewhere too. So like those are the things. Ask a question, share your progress, congratulate others on their progress, and try and do that for a couple different places and see if you don't kind of sort of start getting a vibe and a feel for a community that you'd want to join. The next question asked, why can I never find my pins? And I'm feeling that very strong right now. I had a little pin set up in a 3D printed thing, and these are the ones, but I wanted a different color and I don't know where my pins are at the moment, unfortunately. Becca made me this adorable pin pouch that I still use several years on. It's incredible and I don't know where it is. It has all my pins. Are you gonna help me find it? Oh my god, okay. After looking in the usual suspects of places, it is with bath stuff. Buffy, I found it. Are you so proud? All right, let's take this into the living room as we talk about the next question. This person asks, what's your approach to achieving writing goals? So first for me comes the brain dumping stage, which is basically what you're seeing now. So like one of the big dream goals would be to get an agent within the next year and a half or so. Okay, we're gonna take that goal and then we're going to break it down into actionable things. And I choose weekly just because like today is a Tuesday and it is not a main writing day. Obviously I still did some writing this morning. I did some editing just before this, but Mondays and Tuesdays are more my like admin days in theory, or my vlogging days or my whatever days. So I still write on those, but like that's not the goal of the day. And breaking the goals down by week just helps me to, you know, take it all as a whole, rather than day-to-day minutia of it. Now, once I figured out the weekly goals that I would need in order to get to a place that I could be querying a couple things within the next year and a half, I basically just completely discount the original get an agent goal. Does that make sense? So it's like breaking down the goal into actionable process system items, and then once I have that, just not focusing on this main goal, because now I'm just doing the things that would get me there. Does that make sense? That's how I've been doing it. To this end, I've heard some people call them destination goals versus journey goals. So basically all I'm doing is going, where do I want to end up? Where is my destination goal? And what are the journey goals I need to achieve to get there? But then after that, just throwing the destination goal away. Especially because the way I set up the destination goals oftentimes are like, they're not really achievable. Does that make sense? Like the get an agent goal is not something that is ultimately up to me. What's up to me is putting in all of the work, all of the journey goals to get there, but the actual destination arrival point is not up to me. Someone else asked how much banter is too much banter, and I am here to say that there's no such thing. I want all of the banter. So one of my big goals, I swear, for the past like, I don't know, couple years at least, is to learn how to cook. I think I'm a good baker because I'm pretty good at following instructions and like measuring everything out, and it's a little bit more science than art. So in my personal opinion, it's easier to learn. But I wanted to get cooking down too, because, you know, I can make myself a grilled ham and cheese, a little melt action. I can do real basic burgers. Like it's enough to feed myself, but a long time goal has been able to have like, feel confident enough that I could have almost a dinner party and I could serve multiple courses and they're all my doing, you know, and that don't need the recipes to follow them. Like that's the level I want to get to, even maybe making some of my own recipes. So I'm playing the long game here. in my learning, but I did pull this recipe, or a version of this recipe. I was influenced by Haley in Bookland. She posted about it over on her Instagram and it looked real good. Since I've been trying to eat more veggies, it looked like the perfect thing to do. Also, I am now at my parents' house. I moved it, but it doesn't matter. There will be no stream for me today. It's fine. We were supposed to be having a girls' weekend with some of my friends from like a few hours away coming over, but unfortunately one of my friends got COVID, so instead my co-writer is going to come over and we're making it like a little bit of a writer's retreat. We have the Hallmark open submissions that we want to work on a project together with again, and also help each other submit, because you can submit multiple times. So anyways, just very fun. My other big goal for the year is just kind of to rack up some of the rejection letters, because that means that I'm actively pursuing publications. And so anyways, Hallmark, I'm gonna try and get 3. So when I looked at what I had for the rest of the year, after I took all that brainstorming I did, I basically made a hierarchy of what needed to happen in each month. And again, broke that down. So we're gonna throw out the objective goals, even though it'd be great to start with the objectives to still arrive at the destination. But I forever have the problem of wanting to do just too many things. I have too much inspiration. So basically I have priority 1 for each month. So like for August, it is finishing project down so I can send it to Jess. Project 2, which is my next main project. So this one is my romance pen name stuff that I'm working on in the mornings and setting aside that time for. And I call it the bonus 3rd that I want to try and get done. And actually I had managed to segment it out to 4 things that I wanted to do before the end of the year, but when I was looking at it, it just wasn't realistic to have the 4. So I might have some days where I just want to work on that 4th thing, which was just like fantasy-esque short stories. I have some ideas for some, I occasionally write in them, but actually trying to make it a concrete thing is just like not gonna happen. And that's okay. Someone did ask if you ever feel creatively exhausted after finishing a project or a draft or the whole novel, and absolutely yes. I'm finding myself struggling with that a little bit after my mad dash to get to the end. It could just be the recovery time needed for the 20,000 words in 3 days, but there is something that it's just like, whew, like you want to just like fling yourself onto the couch and rest after you finished a draft. And so I had a little bit of that that I've been doing this month, and it's been really nice actually, just again refilling that creative well. But one of the things that actually has been helping is I'm currently in the middle of, and hopefully will finish, reading Wallace's This Book Is For October by tomorrow. We're really trying to balance that in with my writing retreat, so we shall see how that goes. So let's go ahead and get some reading done. So I started this vlog with the intent of documenting the process of trying out this new writing routine and getting into it, and just kind of, yeah, just testing the waters, seeing if I needed to change anything, if it would actually work for me. And then I had my writing retreat, which was incredible, very fun, got a lot done. That will be a whole other video, as will my beta reading vlog for Wallace's This Book Is For October, aka The Hedge Witch. But ultimately, because I was gone, getting back into the routine that I was trying to start has been a bit of a fail. And it's so interesting when trying to start a new routine, because I think there is a lot of trial and error, but then, you know, to maintain a routine, you need to have done it for a while. And I guess I just thought it would be easier to get back into. But one of the questions that someone asked, how does your mental health affect your writing schedule? And when mental health gets in the way, how do you find your way back to writing? How do you begin a routine again? This is so perfect for this vlog, which is to say that though I had a wonderful time on my retreat, I'm and though it is like my best friend is my co-writer, I don't know if it's like the perfect storm of stuff combined with I'm very introverted and I really like having my alone time, but it was just a lot. And so when I got home, I just became part of the couch. And even though I wanted to do work and I wanted to get stuff done, I just couldn't. And so I ended up reading some and watching a lot of shows and starting some sewing projects and doing things like that. Again, almost kind of refilling the well again, like trying to take my meter, my energy meter, which had depleted, and like refill it, which oftentimes kind of goes in tandem with my ability to create meter. Which is to say that these questions were really great ones, and I don't know the perfect answer because it has taken me longer than I thought it would to get back into trying the routine. So like today is the first day that I'm really trying it, and yet I didn't get up to do my writing early, which was the biggest change, was getting up early, getting the exercise in, and getting my romance pen name work before then. So instead I'm going to do the romance pen name work now. I'm finishing up the first chapter for the co-written project that we're going to submit to Hallmark. So, and then I'm doing this vlog and doing a bunch of other vlogs that I'm trying to get done that I just have not had the energy for. So I've had this gap in videos, which normally I'm pretty good about not having too much of a gap, because like all of the projects, I genuinely enjoy them. But sometimes you're just, that does not answer the questions. Other than to say my mental health, my emotional health, emotional well-being, I don't know, totally does affect the writing schedule, and I've tried to do a better job of working that into all of these schedules that I make, but there's just some stuff you can't account for. And what I've really gotten better about over the course of the pandemic especially is not beating myself up about it, because eventually I will return to it, and I think not beating myself up about it helps me return to it sooner. So I'm gonna try again tomorrow to get up early. I got up at 8 this morning instead of the 6 o'clock. I actually woke up at 6 and had the thought that I was like, I could go do this, and then no. So I'm gonna do a better bedtime routine so that hopefully I get to sleep earlier, keep my phone away, wake up, try and do it again tomorrow. I will let you know in the comment down below if I manage that. But the actual routine I've set up I think is a good one. We're just gonna see if it's a good one for me, if it's doable for me. But let's try to finish this chapter 1, shall we? I have some brackets, and I did the thing I always do where I like have the 0 draft of it and it just didn't work. But now I have the first draft and I think it's getting solid. If I'm at about 953 words so far, I think aiming for 2,000 will be pretty good. We did set up this vague schedule of when stuff needs to get done so that we could submit on the 1st of October. And my chapter is due today, so I think I got this. In the meantime, let me answer another question relevant to what I'm currently doing, which is how would you reach out to another author to collaborate? Any tips or suggestions? So I've only co-written projects with my brother and my best friend, both of whom love to write, but also both of them are not filling their time with writing, if that makes sense. I think the big problem when you're trying to reach out to an author that you really respect or a fellow writer that you just like love their personality with is that a lot of us have, you know, a bunch of projects, and it often feels like the constant writer struggle is not having enough time, and maybe that's just my opinion that I'm putting out to other people, is feeling like I don't have enough time to do all the projects that I want to do. So I think the best way when keeping that in mind is either a short-term project or become really good friends with that writer, and then it kind of just naturally seems to fit that you're like, we should write a story together. Like, we like the same things, wouldn't this be so fun? So short term could be work on a short story together, have them write a short story, and you can maybe come up with a collection of short stories and they'd just be a part of it. Maybe maximum ask if they'd want to do a novella. But again, all of this is like, you need to become close enough with the person that it's not seemingly out of nowhere, or you need to be able to offer something in return that kind of makes up for that time commitment that they'd be making to your shared project. So if you were going to do like a blind email to the person, I would list those kind of things out. Otherwise, I'd say if you follow the person on social media, just like continuously messaging them and like being there and like trying to to form the friendship that way, I guess. And we're gonna go ahead and finish this with this question now that I am almost done with chapter 1 of the co-written project, which is, how do you know when to put an idea away or give up on it when it's really not working? And this is such a tough question. It's such a tough thing to figure out, because really I find that I just struggle with that for several weeks before I'm like, it's not happening. Sometimes it's a couple months and you're just kind of trying to force yourself to do it and it's not really working. As someone who likes to have multiple projects going on at once, that's when I'll just switch to another project, and inevitably something in that will re-inspire me to work on this one, if motivation maybe is the issue, or sometimes you just need something to click. I have had stories where I've just not been, my capability as a writer was not yet where the story needed me to be. Does that make sense? I just wasn't skilled enough yet. I was shooting for something that was just like a little bit out of my grasp. I've done that several times. I think that's the part of like trying and failing as you get better at things, as you write more. And I think that is also a hard thing to admit. I years ago did my Scooby-Doo meets Princess Bride story that I worked on for like several consecutive Camp Nanos before I was like, it's a multi-point of view story and I'm really just, I'm not there yet. I didn't fully have the best way to plot it out and intertwine all the plot lines as we got further into the story. I also was doing really well on 3 or 4 of the voices, but not all 7. And yeah, I don't know if it's giving up. It's definitely shelving it. That project has been shelved for several years because I still love so cool. I still love that world I came up with, and I'm constantly re-inspired from things I see, so I just lock it into the back of my brain, but I know that I'm still not quite there yet. I had a similar thing when I was writing the Meridian Maps, which was a 5-book fantasy series, and I have realized along this journey that writing series in general is really hard. I send all the kudos to people who can do them well, but rather than thinking of it as giving up, I've again kind of placed them on the back burner until I can complete Project Death, a standalone fantasy, to the place that I think it should be. And along the way I'm leveling up my skills so that when I return to the Meridian Maps, I think I'll be able to do it. Does that make sense? So it's hard, and I also don't know how much of that difficulty on a personal level is because I've shared so much about it on the journey. I think for a while there I just didn't want to give up or shelve these projects because I talked about them for so long. It can feel really tough to then be like, you know that thing I was talking about, I'm just not good enough yet. So I don't know how much longer I've worked on things because I didn't want to give up outwardly so much as inwardly I've been like, okay, I can shelve it. So that's something that again over the course of the pandemic I've gotten a lot better at, and it's okay, you know, to shut out other voices. How do you know? How do you know? I think you have a feeling. I think you have a feeling deep down, and that's how you know. And it's just a matter of not trying to humor other people and also trying to recognize that it's not failing and it's not giving up, it's just shelving for the future. Yeah, much like I have up until this moment shelved this new writing routine. Tied it all together, nailed it. Again, I will leave a pinned comment down below and let you know if I succeed. Hopefully this video will go up on Tuesday and today is Monday, so hopefully by the time it's up I will know if I got up early and did the thing I want to do. I have done it before. I think that's one of the reasons that I think I can be successful at this. And again, my morning brain is my best writing brain. So in theory, all of the elements tie together. It's just getting up and doing it. And doing it often enough that it does become routine and it does become the habit for me. So wish me luck. Please do comment down below. Please answer any of these questions that were asked. And also let me know if you have been trying a new writing routine, if you've been testing something out, whether that's like integrating a habit in or maybe even getting rid of a bad writing habit. I would love to know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you especially to some of my new patrons this month. Claire Sturdy, Isabella Backrid, Nadia Slate, Ben, Jonke, Leah Capitini, Corinne Zubat, and Alessandra. And I will see you all very soon with a new video. Bye.